And good morning. Promises kept, because we're back for 2 days in a row. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. This is Things You Might Have Heard. Today we have 10 stories on a Tuesday. This Tuesday happened to be October the 11th, 2022. Should be 8. We kind of got lost in the thought and then realized we overdid it today, but we're going to roll with it. We're not going to kill anything. We're going to go with it as it is. 10 stories to get your coffee chat started for the day and get you started on the stories from yesterday, news from the past 30 or so hours that you guys deemed was conversational. You guys deemed pretty interesting to talk about, that you clued us into things we should chat in there. So we're going to give it back to you, I guess, and things that other people have clued you into, plus the bots that Twitter now owns, or that Trump, not Trump, the other guy, Elon Musk now owns as he's buying Twitter. Check out our main website, which is thisisaconversationproject.com for more details on more details, including ways you can partner up with us, find other sponsors to get to, and some of the things we do when we're not doing this thing. In the meantime, the right now time, let's get to the 10 stories for this morning. Starting off with San Antonio police officer James Brennand, I'm always mispronouncing that one, fired for shooting teen at McDonald's parking lot. Yesterday, late afternoon, the name of the officer, James Brennand, was released, the San Antonio officer, after 2 days of being able to see the body cam of the actual incident. Here's what basically went down. Brennand was, he's a rookie cop. He's only like in the force like 7-8 months, and he's responding to a disturbance at a McDonald's. Meanwhile, in the parking lot, he sees a car that he believes that evaded him earlier in the week, and he calls for backup, but then walks right up to the car, opens the door, and tells the guy to get out the car. Obviously, if someone runs up on you like that, you're going to panic and probably not get out of the car, which is what he did. He started the car and started driving off. Brennand has shot off about 10 shots total. Also in the car was another female passenger. The guy in the car, it's a 17-year-old teenager who was driving, who basically got away from the first time, did not get away as the car stopped a few blocks away because of the injuries. He is now in critical condition, and Brennand is now fired from the San Antonio Police Department. Pretty much everybody who witnessed the video, everybody witnessed what's going on and said, this is not what we do. This is not how things work out. This is bad policing. We're going to see what's going to go forward with the officer, as he maybe have criminal charges going forward because of the incident and just not using common sense and good police sense. Tragic case of something that did not have to happen, even if the guy would have gotten away. Again, this is not what happens. You murder. Death is not a penalty for evading a police officer. That's not how it should work. Let's see this one. Fan tackled during Bucs game was 10-year-old. Now, there's an unwritten rule about fans who get onto a field, and that is they are fair game. Fans coming out of the crowd and running across the field for whatever reason are fair game. They're open to be tackled, taken down, and punished as it needs be. This happened earlier in the season in the NFL, where another fan got loose, and then there actually some play-by-play of some players knocking the guy down before security got to him. In this case, this fan was a 10-year-old kid at the football game. I'm not sure what made him think he was brave enough to do this thing, but he decided he was going to charge the field. He wasn't tackled by a player. He was tackled by a security, which is what you should do, take him down and get him out of the way. But we found out, later that the kid was literally a kid. No serious harm to the child other than the embarrassment of being tackled on the field at a football game, and embarrassment to his parents, I'm sure, who are probably whooping that butt right about now, or should be, for this guy, for whatever consequences will come on the ultimate end of that. Let's go to this one. NAACP denounces flat-out racist, that's in their denouncement, remarks by GOP Senator Tommy Tuberville at Trump rally. Remember a few days ago, we talked about the Trump rally like yesterday that happened on Saturday, where he basically called black people criminals and liars and lazy? Guess what? People don't like that. And the NAACP, who is not getting a lot of love these days as a national organization, is stepping up to speak out on this one right up front, saying this is flat out racist. This is bad. Now, as I said later, if you don't know who Tommy Tuberville is, he's a senator from Alabama. which, may have a kind of a stink on that end. He's also a former football coach, semi-popular, if you will. So there's that to be said, which may have more to do with how he got elected to be a senator than actually be able to, put actual phrases together and govern and do things that make sense and not embarrass your state, your country, or your people, which Mr. Tuberville actually did, even if there's many people who believe exactly what he says. You still don't say the quiet parts out loud, even if you believe it. We're going to see how this plays out. More than likely, Tuberville is going to win re-election. That's how these things work, unfortunately, when his time is up. But we're seeing right now that people are speaking out against Mr. Tuberville's words. The senator from Alabama is going to have a rough time in some cases, and in some cases, it's exactly what people are expecting. Let's move on to this one. Panthers fire head coach Matt Rhule after 11-27 record in 2+ seasons. He is the first coach in the NFL fired this season. This is week 4, I believe. Maybe week 5. We're going into week 5 right now. Week 4 just cleared up, and with a bad showing to start off the season, we're going to see what happens going on. Now, what's going to happen to the young team, young quarterback, all the folks in development? It's not going to be Matt Rhule's problem anymore because he gone. He got no choice because you just can't seem to fire anybody up. Winning only about a third of games in 2 years plus. We'll see who's going to take over soon. Interim coaches, I believe an interim coach has been named. So, basically someone on the coaching staff will take over for a while. And then we'll see if a big-time player will take the job either mid-season, coming out of retirement, coming off the TV bench. Maybe Sean Payton will come off the TV bench and coach the Panthers. Who knows? Or who may take it coming in next year. We shall see. Dan Patrick not doing very much. Maybe he can coach Panthers. Filipino Japanese Americans most likely among Asian American groups to experience obesity. This is coming from a study that you might want to check out. Of course, Americans are fat in general, but as a sort of rule of thumb, Asian cultures tend to not have the same issues with obesity as other cultures do. However, if you are of Filipino of Japanese descent, you may fall more aligned with have obesity in your family than the other Asian American cultures. Check this study out. Interesting study to see. And of course, that doesn't get anybody else off the hook. You still, whoever you are, whatever you are, and wherever you come from, you need to keep an eye on that health. We need you around. That's what the whole stay limber, stay healthy, stay on task thing is all about. Art Laboe, pioneering DJ, credited with helping end segregation in the Southern California, dies at 97. Also along the lines, another pioneer in radio, pioneer in broadcasting, pioneer for the culture in Southern California. Also, we got to speed it up because we got extra stories. Another pioneer in acting in the scenes of the Hollywood, and also Sean Penn's mother, Eileen Ryan, who starred in the Twilight Zone and Grey's Anatomy. She died yesterday at the age of 94. Art researchers discover one of Dutch artist Vermeer's paintings is not actually a Vermeer. It's not actually his. A painting of girl with flute. I believe that's the one it is. I don't have the notes in front of me, but girl with flute it is. That is in the style of Vermeer. Is not actually Vermeers. It's in his style because essentially I believe one of his students actually painted that one and just got mixed up into the collection. They believe actually there's a whole bunch of Vermeers out there that are not actually his, that are not reproductions, not fakes on purpose, but him teaching his students how to do his style and them doing a pretty good job of keeping up with it, doing things that are essentially just like this guy, but not quite because by someone else's hand. This painting, of course, losing lots of luster, lots of value because ain't a real Vermeer. I, of course, can pick it out in the lineup. If it's not Mona Lisa or dogs playing poker, I can't tell you what it is. But this is one that after a lot of intense study of the image, a lot of study of the painting and the style and the works of it, they believe it's not the real deal. A Twitch streamer broke her back after jumping in foam pit live at TwitchCon. This story and the next story are bonuses today. We should have only had 8 stories today, but somehow I wasn't paying attention. I picked 10 and I posted them in the newsletter. So we're going to go ahead and give you those and put them in the description. Didn't want to change anything. TwitchCon going on right now, and a Twitch streamer, say that 3 times fast, is now dealing with severe pain after playing around in adult games that should not be adult, should probably not doing, literally jump into a big old foam pit that inside of the Twitch con studios, if you will, live while streaming's going on, and people are happening, people are cheering on, jumps in a foam pit, is not safe. It's not quite deep enough, and she ends up breaking her back. Check out the story. Not a good one. And this last one, another bonus, and the no apologies to give, but it was kind of a low energy news day, if you will. So some of these stories may not be as lustrous as other days, and we got extras, but we're going to give them their due. Malaysia PM dissolves parliament, paving a way for snap elections during monsoon season. This is a bigger story for all of us than you may think. It may happen in Malaysia, but other countries that have full governments that drop out can have issues. Malaysia is a nation that has had some issues with, oddly enough, with ISIS and Al Qaeda and things like that, and so they may have some issues going on there going forward. Other than that, they're not a major, trading partner. They don't have, chromium or whatever magical dust that we find in other places that we often exploit. But they are a full government of their own that should be able to be autonomous. This doesn't happen here in the U.S. where they just say, oh, you know what? We suck. We're going to quit and fire everybody and revote tomorrow. What makes this even worse is monsoon season's coming up. So dangerous weather and dangerous times are coming up, with very perilous times in the parliament. We shall try to keep an eye on this and keep up what's going on. We'll post more stories in this. And as you find this thing engaging, it was engaging enough to be a top 10 story, top 15, specifically top 10, you got that going on. Let's talk about a story that may engage us tomorrow. This is the teaser story for Pasta tomorrow. Lawsuit accuses DeSantis of withholding records over migrant flights, which is, probably makes perfect sense that he would do that, because the whole migrant flights things were a lie. So we'll talk about this one tomorrow. It's pretty simple. You help vote it up, and we'll see what we can do. The Facebook feeds on facebook.com/This Is Conversation Project, and Twitter feed, twitter.com/th_conversation. As we post news stories every 50 minutes, all day long, all night long, you just engage with them, like them, love them, hate them, share them. We'll give them a real true score, even out score every morning. 5:50 a.m. we'll come out with this thing here. 5 o'clock we'll cut it off. And if the story is in the range of engagement, Tuesday through Friday, top 15 of the 30 or so stories. On Monday, we go top 30 of the 90 or so stories. We talk about it. Monday, we'll give you 10 stories. Tuesday through Friday, we're supposed to give you 8. Today, we gave you a bonus. So congratulations on that. Thank you so much for being with us on and kicking out with that. But you can make these things happen by just voting up the stories you want to chat about. It is all that simple. And now let's chat about sponsorships. One of our sponsors is Zenni Optical, and we're so proud to have Zenni Optical with us because they take good care of people. Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/Zenni, Zenni. This is theconversationproject.com/Zenni, or go to our website and click the link that's there for this, and you will get a chance to get taken care of by great people who provide great glasses. Guess what? For great prices. You don't have to overspend for glasses anymore. You shouldn't never had to, but you get great looking glasses, great functional glasses at a great price. Men, women, and children are taken care of. They have all the technology you want. You want blue blockers, they got them. You want transitions, they got them. You want sports goggles, they got them. You want just regular sunglasses, they got them. You want inexpensive frames that are going to get you the job done, they got them. Check them out at thisisaconversationproject.com/Zenni. Not much to do to sell you on this, but say check out the link. It is an affiliate link, so we get a little bit cut back for you if you go there as the gatekeeper to Zenni, if you will. But check them out. You'll fall in love, like I did, like my family did, with Zenni Optical. We are housed at thisistheconversationproject.com. This is the home for the Conversation Project. Stop by the website for more opportunities to see more sponsors and opportunities to partner up with us if you believe we're doing good content, helping us keep things going out here. Also, you can find the links to our YouTube page, the links to our feeds, links to our podcast link. We have that going on. It's the audio of this thing here, and also other goodies. Check it out. This is theconversationproject.com. You shall not be disappointed. I guarantee, or your money back. And there's no money to go to the website. The website's free, so it is that. October 11th birthday is today. For today things that you might have heard, let's sing a happy birthday to Daryl Hall of Hall and Notes. 76-year-olds on the day, which gives me a chance to just bring up my good friend Josh, who's out there serving our country out there in the desert doing great things. You may not, he remembers this, Josh and another friend of ours, Blake from high school, did this really cool talent show rendition of Private Eyes that killed it. And so this made me think of Josh, although I think of him often because he's out there serving us. Happy birthday to Daryl Hall, turning 76, for providing the soundtrack to a funny skit at a talent show, like 40 years ago. Kajong Kuzak turning 60 years old today. Maybe she's more popular than her brother. Maybe she's not. It's kind of a toss-up, but maybe she's more talented. It's kind of a toss-up. But Joan Kuzak, we're celebrating her on this day. This is her day, not John's. Jones, 60 on today. And all hail Cardi B, turning 30 years old on the day, making me feel really, really, really old at this point. Today is Face Your Fears Day. And it's Face Your Fears Day because it is. And we're celebrating it or spotlighting it because it is. There weren't a lot of engaging days, to be honest, for today. So we went with Face Your Fears Day. So we're going to encourage you to go out there and face something you're scared of. Step into the light of something of darkness, or step into the darkness of something that's light. Find something that you've been afraid to tackle and try to tackle it. Think about tackling it. Plan on tackling. Do your work and face your fears, or a fear, particularly on Face Your Fears Day. If there's that cute barista you've been wanting to ask out, go ahead and do it. If there's that cute barista you've been trying to get a discount on because you think the coffee costs too much, go ahead and do it. If you've got a plan of action you want to get in place because you want to start a business, you want to rekindle a relationship, you want to just climb a mountain, think about it. Get to work on it. Just go climb a mountain, though, because those are pretty dangerous. Start planning on facing the fear in that case. But everything else, make sure you do one step forward, some step closer to alleviating whatever's holding you back and facing that fear. There you go. Motivation from things you might have heard. Tony Robbins would charge you $30,000 for that. You get this for free on the internet. Oh, there you go. Finally, one last thing out the door. Report out of Australia for Baker Heart and Diabetes Research Institute found drinking 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day could be linked to a longer lifespan. This is number 1. There are at least 4 more coming. Compared to no coffee drinking, this was an association with a 14%, 27%, and 11% lower likelihood of death for decaffeinated, ground, and instant preparations. This one's instant, so this is on the low end, but we got ground coming up for the rest of the day. Got to get things going. So this is just another study that says coffee will help you live longer. We have a lot of these stories. People basically want to hear things like this, so I think they kind of make it up, to be honest. But I'm going to go with it. As I said, this is cup number 1. At least 3, probably 4 more to come throughout the day. What else comes throughout the day? More news stories, and we'll have them posted every 50 minutes here on our feeds in the Conversation Project. Last minute hydration break. As we come to the end of a Tuesday, October 11th edition, 2022 of Things You Might Have Heard. Thank you so much for being with us, whether you're one of the 4 or 5 eyeballs that popped in live on the recording, or you see this in the replay throughout the whatevers, or you listen to it as a podcast, which comes in about 10 minutes after we're done with this one. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. If you like us, let us know. Give us some comments, give us some feedback. Let us know what we can do for you, and let us know what we can do for you. That sounded better in my head than it came out with going on there as well. We are posting news stories every 50 minutes, so make sure you check out our feed so you can vote up the stories. And as teased already, not so much coffee, but stay hydrated, stay focused, stay limber, stay on task, focused on task. We need you to stick around for the grand things that you are meant to do for the world. So we need you here for that. Posting stories already. Everybody go have a great Tuesday, and we'll be back tomorrow, Lord willing, creek don't rise, to get you a Wednesday edition, things we talked about on Tuesday, if you will, of things you might have heard to talk about for, ironically, your Wednesday.